If anyone has ever seen the show on Sunday night, Futurama, by the same guy who did The Simpsons, there's a woman on there who only has one eye, Leela. Peggy Bundy, the mother from Married with Children, does her voice. If anyone had watched the very beginning of the series, it was only said in one episode that she was an Alpha Centaurian, the only one of her kind in the universe. In another one, they also said the word Omicron, although in Star Trek I've seen one where they encountered Omicron particles. It was also kinda strange the episode of Drew Carey where Mimi transports him to China. He enters a village, and the woman greets him and asks him, "Where are you from?" "Alpha Centauri." On Saturday, when I was watching the new Andromeda series, the two subliminals I picked up on were, "I'm experiencing a feedback loop." This was said in one scene underneath the background sounds. If anyone watched the episode, I could tell where it is, and if it was taped. Sure, it could be replayed. Then the other one was Antares. That word was also said in one scene. I have started picking up a lot of subliminals in TV programming. I don't know if it is put there purposefully in the script as a subliminal message, or just something that my consciousness picks up that is part of the dialogue. Multiple star system orientation. Alright, well, I think that we're going to attempt to translate some of the communications that have begun to be downstepped through the wavelength ranges to which you're all beginning to attune. We have about an hour and a half worth of time. There are significant strides in progression being made through the energetic combatants within this group. We can only say that we are thankful to each one of you who has brought yourself into this round table of mutual respect and understanding of the awareness you possess and the truth of the sentience you contain. Essentially, the progress that is underway and rapidly increasing in both pace and momentum is a larger frame of reference beginning to be put together. This frame of reference is one when formed, can provide for a framework within which to view the self on many different levels at the same time. This is, in essence, what everyone has come to call multidimensional perception, but which is more properly understood as gaining the capability to attune one's awareness along multiple vectors, and in the hyperspatial ranges through the omnidimensional spectrum, the perceptual capabilities that we house. We can say there is a great wealth of highly advanced information that can be shared with each of you. Ultimately, is only gained by tuning into the various wavelengths of yourself. In order for us to even be able to achieve communication, that has to be a certain level of cohesive vibrational frequency within the vessel that is serving as the transducer of frequency or translator of information. Each human being has capabilities within themselves to attune the bandwidth, which they operate on to a wider spectrum. The toroidal energy fields are one of the most fundamental shapes within the entire cosmos. The torus and the spiral, these are the two vectors that when woven together will give humanity a much greater understanding of how all the fields are interwoven, as well as more cohesion and understanding particle field interactions. These are essentially waveform dynamics. Essentially, through bringing into a synchronistic whole, the conjoining of the patterns that serve as routes to the entire vast cosmos, its schematic can become apparent. The toroidal-shaped field is essentially dipolar. When you think about a magnet, many have probably sprinkled iron fillings around one. This shows the shape of the magnetic field. It is toroidal in shape. You can look at the patterns of a tree and its branching outwards and root system and see that there is a certain field also held by a tree. Your physiological structures are also surrounded by such a field, as it is your planetary homeworld. When you think about it, everything within these vast cosmos is rotating, and there's no way that anything within these vast cosmos can get outside of it. When rotation is involved, it comes to understanding the angular momentum. This can give many insights into understanding the fusion which occurs at the particle field interaction level. Velocity is also of extreme and integral importance. One of the most important things that the human species can begin to recognize is that in reality there are other star systems with planets that have been both classified, categorized, and do maintain various stages of evolutionary development within the process of manifestation into living form. Just because your species, which is finalizing its pre-planetary civilization growth stages, holds no awareness or the instrumentation and technology to have located them does not mean they do not exist. Your planet Earth and this star system Solus, which, as you have gained the awareness, is approximately 4.4 light years from Alpha Centauri, is not the only star system within which planets that have been seeded and overseen exist. AC is a trinary star system: Alpha Centauri A, Alpha Centauri B, and Proxima Centauri. There are many parallels that are beginning to reveal themselves and become apparent. These parallels were handed down through time within each culture's family lineages as fragments. With the proper set of lenses, obviously the perspective from within which oneself is viewing things can be reoriented. There have been many others who have come through this information from the Pleiades, Sirius and Arcturus. This one has within his process moved through Andromedan, Orion, and into Alpha, Omicron, Draconian perspectives. Then there is also the Zeta, eh? It is a wonder why more people have not been able to pick up on the significance of Alpha Centauri and its relation to your star system Solus. The parallels we speak of held within the fragments of your species' mythological worldviews and religious belief systems can be seen in things like your Dogon tribe holding knowledge of the binary nature of the Sirius star system. The way humanity sees things at the beginning of the 21st century just doesn't quite yet fit into the larger frame of reference that is rapidly being gained. As more people upon your world begin to an understanding of how the dynamics you are within operate, there are going to need to be significant shifts and reorientations which occur around the way energies are focalized. We will never be able to stress enough the importance of gaining the necessary level of cross-synthesis. The one way to truly model or chart it is by having the necessary vectors, angles, and focal wavelengths correctly oriented. If the human species truly seeks to understand his stellar ancestral heritage, beyond what has been outlined at the base level by what people have presented from any other star system or self-proclaimed contributor to the sentience which your human beings as species possess, it is us, the Alpha Centaurians. We are thankful that there are those of you within this group who are beginning to find within your hearts and souls the pathways which we would like to see begin to be embodied with greater intensity. We are pleased with the progress that is being made by each one of you, who in your own ways are finding the vibrational wavelengths in relation to which you are willing to work. As has already been shown by your experience over the past couple of days, we have as much to learn about working with your species within the time frame that we are communicating to you as you have to learn not only about us, but the whole entire rest of that which exists both within you and outside throughout this vast universe. We only have a few more minutes before this one has to get going. We're looking forward to assisting each of you with increasing, further balancing, grounding, and then integrating those various aspects of self that need to be brought into a harmonic pulse. There is so much beauty and glorious awareness to be awakened within humanity and upon your world, even in these end times as your species is facing a potential world by which you can be destroyed. The bridge has truly begun to be built. We thank you. We are the Alpha Centaurians. We exist beyond biological, electromagnetic, or silicate-based life-form representations. Tune into the Nautilus shell and focalize on your trilobites. The memory imprints through the crystal seals and various time locks and the frequency signatures woven into each individual are being released, rerouted, and realigned. This is the importance of understanding these various dynamics.